Okay, so I'm going to go through the problem. This is what we got here. 2 forest fires reported on the same day in northern British Columbia to the Wildfire Management Branch in Prince George. So the first fire was reported in Stewart, 320 miles from Prince George. So what I've got showing is here, and what I did is I just went to Google Maps just to kind of visualize this so I could see what's going on. So there's Prince George, there's Stewart, and then there's Dease Lake. And the problem tells me the distance is right there. So 320 miles from Prince George's Stewart, 419 miles from Prince George's Dease Lake. So we've got something like this showing. There's 419, there's 320. And it says right here that the angle between the direct paths to Stewart and Dease Lake is 22.3 degrees. So I also put that over here. This is my angle for 22.3 degrees, that little bit in there. So what's next? I've got my values, and I'm going to start looking at the formula here. So there's my coast formula. So I'm going to start filling in some of those values into the formula. So let's do that. So there's the formula, and first set of values, 419 for, and I guess I'm choosing as a squared. Yeah, 419 for a squared, 320 for b squared, for b, and then again 419 and 320, and then the degrees 22.3. All right, next step. I'm going to simplify this. So 419, I'll just get my calculator out and I'll do that type of stuff. So all I did is I started doing 419 squared, and there's that value, and then 320 squared, 10240, or 102,400, right? And then I started to do this multiplication here. So 2 times 419 times 320, 268,120. And remember, this value is going to be multiplied by the cost value there. So what's next on the list here? So there's the value. I don't know why I duplicated that, but anyway, we'll simplify this again. So I'm going to go 22.3 degrees, and the cosine of that is this crazy long value, but you can see it's 0.925 times 268,120. 268,120. Oops. 268. Oh, no, actually, it's not that either. Let's go back. It's 268,160. So this is why it's good to kind of write things out as you go along. So you can confirm 268,160. So I'm multiplying that. And that's what I get for my value. 248,104.2381. And I've just rounded it off. So there's my simplified formula. And now I can simplify this again. So this plus this, subtract this, gives me this value right here. And then I need to find the square root of that value. So square root of this will equal to c. So C equals 172.79. So that's C. If we come back to our original thing, we had the A and B distances and the angle, and now we know the C. So what does that look like on our map? It looks like this. So right here, it's 172. So we figured out that value. But let's go back to the original question and see what it's asking for. So it says here an AT-802 water bomber is dispatched from Prince George to Stewart and then to Dease Lake. Can it return safely to base on a single tank if the angle between the direct path between Stewart and Dease Lake is 22.3 degrees? So it wants to go back to base. Base is Prince George. So what it's doing is it's flying from Prince George, going 320 miles here, 172 miles here, and then it has to fly another 419 miles back to base. And it says here, this is important, the AT-802 bomber has a range of 800 miles on a full tank. So I've got my distances. So we need to figure out what this total distance is going up and around and back. So it's just adding these three values. So So 172, 419, and 320 is going to equal the loop distance. So I do the math for this. Maybe I'll just make sure that's right. 172 plus 419 plus 320 is 911. So that's the value right there. So this is the important value right there, 911. So the question is, can it return safely to base on a single tank if the angle between, so they want to know if it can go to base. Water bomber has a range of 800 miles in a full tank. So the actual total distance is 911 miles. So the answer is no, it can't fly. It can't do that whole distance on a single tank of gas. And that's it.